Okay, this is NKP. Looks like we've had a very significant drop from 72 cents to 26 cents. So yeah, that's probably not going to recover in a hurry from that. But anyway, looks like it's had a bit of a triple top here as well, and that's actually played out. We've got a lot of, this is the weekly chart, we've got a lot of volume around here, and there's volume and price is still closing lower, so that's never a good sign. What can we see on a positive note? Well, if we look on before we've had this rise here, if we look at the high volume bar, this is our first high volume bar before that rise is right there. I'll just draw a horizontal line under it. I'm using a different software package to what I normally use because Pro Realtime doesn't have NKP on it, so maybe they've written them off already. Anyway, so that's your high volume bar there, and it's actually sitting right on there now with a bit of a wick. So I suppose that's good. Maybe that's a bottom, but you can't really say it's a bottom yet until it starts going up and then retesting and making higher lows. And you've still got this bit of a downtrend line here to overcome as well. What else can we see? Okay, what's next? This is AYN. I had a bit of rubbish on there before and I've cleaned it up a little bit. I've put a pitchfork on it using this low here, high, a low, and that's pretty much captured the price movement perfectly. I've added a bit of a trigger line from the handle to this pivot there, and that's picked up the price action there. So that's good. It's gone up, gone back past the median. I would probably expect that to back test and maybe oscillate around the median line. What do we know? A couple of things to note is these volume spikes. When you see volume spiking like this, that kind of alerts you that there's probably some professional traders in their professional activity going on, and the question you've got to ask is, well, are they buying or are they selling? And when you get this big long wick closing on its low, that sort of gives you the hint that they're probably selling, and then the fact that price goes down afterwards sort of confirms that. And then it's it's taken a while to go through that, to get past that. You know, when it does finally go through that, it happens really quickly on big volume. That tells you that's smart money gapping through this area because they've been accumulating in this low here. They don't want to absorb. They want to spend as little money as possible absorbing the volume in here, so they move it up really rapidly, have a bit of a back test, and then keep moving it up. But then you have a buying climax up here where volume really spikes, sort of even worse than here. That the fact that they've started the day before, you've got this up thrust, and then you've got a higher day that finishes lower, and that sort of gives you a hint that they're selling big time, and then price just rolls over on with low demand after that and keeps going down. So that's your weakness there. That's your background weakness, and then what you're looking for when it comes down is, I would have liked to have seen on this low here some serious volume coming in that suggests that the pros are getting back in at the low, but it's not really happening. I think what's happened here is the supply is just exhausted. It's gone down as far as it can go, and people just aren't prepared to sell it for any less. And then it's just had to go back up. And a bit of a worry, and it's still a bit of a worry for me, is that it's going up on very low demand. It's doing the sort of things you like to see it doing. If you did have some background strength in there, it goes up, and then you've got these really low volume down bars. They're like little test bars, and they're followed by price going up on a bit more, not too much, but a bit more volume. And that's generally a sign of testing. So so you get another one there, you get a really low down bar, and then price goes up. That can be quite bullish, but I don't see smart money in the stock. So, but having said that, it's still going up. Probably more as a consequence of low supply. Supply just people just all the supply being exhausted, and it's a bit like low air pressure. Price, air has to go up if there's low air pressure. Price has to go up if there's low supply. And so it's we've actually had a bit of a bullish run up there, but it still bothers me that this volume is relatively low. So this is retail demand. You can't say, it's a bit hard to say that there's any professional support behind it. It's too low. So but having said that, it's no one's selling it either. So it's just a bit of a worry when you get up to this really high volume bar, and I'd expect a bit of resistance around the bottom of this bar, and there's been none. And even coming up through this area, there's been very little response here, and I'm a bit suspicious that they're not done yet, and they're waiting for it to come back up to smash it down. Maybe they are coaxing it up, because this we should be seeing some volume come in from this recent volume here, and it just isn't happening. So I would be very wary of how high this goes. What I think is going to happen is it's going to oscillate around this median, maybe. But anyway, there's your resistance line up there. Your support line down here on the bottom of this bar, and then you've got the median, and I think it'll come back and it'll probably oscillate around that median before going up. Anyway, that's AYN. We've got AMP. What have I done with AMP? Hang on, I'll just get rid of the rubbish on it and start again. Okay, I'll go to the weekly chart. Well, we can probably Andrews pitchforks are normally, they're good on anything, but they're particularly good on your larger stocks like AMP. If I pick a low there, no, that's probably not relevant to us today, so I'll take that off. What else can we do? Maybe if we go this low here, and take the absolute high there and this low here, and that looks pretty close. It looks like it's respecting something, and it's not quite there. So maybe we can do a 50% fork. And for those who do interested in the forks, we take distance between this pivot and that pivot, or this pivot and this pivot in this case, and we put we anchor it in this case, or we just halfway down there. Oh, it doesn't want me to do it, so I'm going to have to zoom in. It keeps snapping to the anchor it there. It's not going to let me go higher. Okay, try again. Anchor it halfway down there, up the top, high, then the low, and that, and there you go, that does the trick. That pretty much captures the price, and you can see it's started tracking up this this line. The only other line I see that's a bit of a worry is this. We've got a bit of a resistance line coming up there. Hang on, let's see if I've got that right. Tuesday, yeah, that's so it is coming up to a bit of a resistance line there. And what else can we see? If I zoom back out again. Okay. You know what the most significant candle in this whole chart is? This one. I say that because it's got the highest volume out of the whole chart. That's the one with the highest volume. So I'm going to put a line on the bottom, line on the top, and bingo, you can see price moving around within those two, and that's still influencing price today. Let's have a look again. What about the next one? One beside it. Okay, so we'll put a line. I might just put a line on the top of that. Bang, and that picks up those tops there. So that's interesting anyway. So we got resistance there, support there, and it looks like it's ranging between the two. The only thing that bothers me a little bit is this. We've got high volume here, but we got prices increased, but on very narrow spreads. So that sort of indicates a bit of capping going on. So that's a bit of a concern. But it is respecting the bottom time of this fork at the moment. It's got to overcome this resistance. Once it does that, then well, you've got your resistance line up there. But at the moment, it's pretty much ranging. So nothing too exciting, I suppose. Just be cautious of this volume here. Is very high with very narrow spread, and that suggests downside to me. It's been sold. I mean, that's really high volume, and nothing's really happened to it. So, and it's still really high volume, and there's some capping action going there, I think. So it could come back down. What have we got next? CKK. This is one I did a little while ago. We've still got this little triangle here. Dun, 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 dun. What was I commenting on? The that it was a triangle, I suppose. I'm suggesting a couple of breakout points. A lot of interest pro starting to play. We've got this. The worry is this high volume bar is our weakness. That's being sold into demand. The pros are selling into demand, and prices had to go back down really low volume until it's it's just no demand in the stock. It's gone down, picked up again, but it's spiked again up here and then gone back down. So that might take a little while to consolidate. So we've got weakness in the background. We don't really have a lot of strength coming in at the lows, other than to move it rapidly up. But we'll just see if it can hold the bottom here. And the other thing to realize is these triangles can break down to the downside as well. The other thing I see is this high volume down bar here. It's been dipping down past there, so that's not a good sign, even though it's starting to rise. Yeah, making higher lows, but you're still making lower highs, so we'll just have to see how that works out. But at the moment, you've still got weakness in the background.